And everything is set up. Okay, we're going to be trying to lock in for the next however long. I have no idea how this is going to go. We shall see. Um, okay, browser. Browser is on the wrong tab. Great. Okay, or the wrong window rather. Um, flip, flip. There we go. A. I could have just done that. Yeah. Okay. Um, going straight to the early page. Um, in fact, before we even do that, we should probably work on Obsidian, um, which is also in the wrong window for some reason, which is always great. You're not allowed to see these because you don't go to uni. Haha. That's funny. Um, free online paper. I think the main thing for this should be to um, probably reorganize some notes and fix some issues, which I could probably just. Uh, this is not a solution, by the way. I I don't recommend this. This is Project Euler. Don't worry about it. I could probably do that at some point. Also, if you are wondering, yes, I'm using Linux. Um, if you're wondering which distro specifically, yes, it's Fedora. Uh, yes, I already upgraded my packages. This is just a proof that it is actually Fedora. And if something pops up, that wow, fair play. Okay, um, fair. But yeah, it's Fedora Linux, KDE Plasma because why not? And for some reason, my application dashboard is on the wrong screen because someone accidentally set it so that the secondary display was on the wrong screen. Great. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix that quickly. Um, that's gonna become annoying. Where is displays? Display, touch screen, monitor. Found it. It is the primary display. So then why is it showing up on the other one? That's so weird. What? Why is it on the other one? What? Okay, sure. I'll accept it. Yeah, what I might do is wow, the file does okay, yeah. Um what I'll probably end up doing is putting this is so stupid, but if I just use an agent, like a Copilot agent, to then handle all of the small changes that I can't be able to make for me, then that would be a good use of AI because like I still made the notes. Well, then it's stupid actually because then the AI would make the notes for me, but that would void the point because then it would mean that I wouldn't be learning or memorizing anything. I would just be reading notes that aren't mine in a style that's not mine, which would mean that I wouldn't take in any information. Hence, I'm pulling a solid one. It's also not opening up, which is great. It's really weird, actually. Oh, there we go. Okay, don't know why that happened. Um, I'll open specifically the the university folder because I don't need the other one. Um, there we go. Okay. What is this? Oh, sick. Um, all I need to do is change the chapter summary because some of them are wrong. For instance, this one about vector spaces is completely wrong. Uh, uh, um, uh, of done. Okay. Auto, yeah, auto is probably better. Um, okay. Whilst that's happening, um, the thing I'm getting it to change is that, wow, okay, this is really short. Uh, at the top of each chapter, I have a mini chapter summary, which is kind of pointless, but it's nice to have. So just make sure that if I forget the whole consensus of a chapter, I could just like beep, and I'll figure it out. I have one for every chapter, or at least the chapters I've done so far. And then for MTH 1001, I did it for some, and then I got lazy with elementary number theory. Um, yeah, see, it did it. We also make this is a template, right? If I go into here, uh, yeah, it's a math template. Okay, so the template's fine. Um, these definitions should be, wow, okay. These definitions should be in the definition section anyways, so I'll just move that now. This shouldn't be here. The vault, you can delete vault. Whoops. Okay, there we go. If you're also wondering why I have an index page, we head over to Zen, which is here. Yes, that's meant to say that. That's fine. Put my university notes online in a GitHub pages page thing because it's useful. Also, if you're wondering, Julia to MATLAB, great extension. Guys, use the extension for VS Code. Trust me, it's amazing. I have reviews from Bill Gates. That's also a joke. Right, yeah. So if I go to actions, you'll see that it's literally just a GitHub webpage, built by me, and then also built with AI for like a minor issue, which is why there are so many things where it's like Copilot did this and Copilot requested that. Or they're not here anymore, but there were a lot. And it was mainly because I did like one stupid thing with my repo and then it messed up the whole repo and I couldn't be bothered to fix it. So I just got an agent to fix it by clicking like the button up here. But yeah, now there's the website, which is nice. With a bunch of things that I need to do actually. And the benefit of having it like this is that I can open it up on the tablet, and then read through that, work through that. If I need to actually like, read it later, or whatnot. And then I do actually have, in Obsidian, I don't think it's this Obsidian repo. I think it's the other one. There's nothing in here. Yeah. Okay. If I hop into this repo, it's one of these community plugins. I don't know why I have any of these because I don't use them. Like I don't use any of these. Book search maybe. Templater maybe. This yes. No. Okay. Where is... Oh no, I'm no longer using it. I just remembered. I'm using folder sync. Which I hope opens. eventually. Um, it's not opening. Okay, anyways, the point is, okay. No, I don't want two tabs. The point is that I'm using folder sync to literally just, I literally started today, but I'm using it to sync between OneDrive, so that way every time I have a note, I don't have to go crazy trying to get onto my phone or tablet using something like SyncThing. SyncThing is great, but the problem is that one of your devices has to be online all the time, and it's running on a server, so it uses more battery, and I didn't like that. But yeah, my notes are literally just synced to OneDrive, which is great, which I would recommend as an option, because folder sync is also free, as you saw. Like there's a free version, and then the paid version, but I don't need the paid version, because what am I doing with the paid version? Um, yeah, I'll exit that because I don't need to change anything. Um, get rid of distractions. We begin here. We have two options. Option one is updating things with lecture notes. Did this actually? Oh, sick. Okay. The option one is adding lecture notes, which I do want to test with AI to see what it would do. Like I'm gonna delete it afterwards, but I do want to see what it would do. Uh, I don't know why I said I would like to see what it does. That's an internal. Sure. Okay. We will. We will. We will see what it does. Um. My guess is that it does something. Ooh. Whoa. Whoa. Oh. Eh. Eh. It's not like I did it though. It's not as good. Like, if I go to the lecture notes, do I have chapters? Table content. Yeah. Nice. Um. Oh, can I search in an Obsidian? I feel blind. Okay, there's probably like a definition in here somewhere. Um, somewhere. It's not bad, you know. I think it's using. Does it tell me the model? Okay, no. If I was to guess, it would probably be like. I don't think it would be Raptor Mini. My guess would be like, um, not this one surprisingly. My guess would be like Gemini Fast, which isn't an option. Never mind. Okay, I have no idea what this is. Um, it didn't do a great job though, because these aren't how I take my notes. Um, it sounds like I'm petty. For context, if I hop over to like one of the other ones, this is the difference. Okay, there's a big difference. Um, uh, giving it a chance. I just want to see how it works. Um, maybe it will do it. Maybe somehow. Um, if it does it, it will actually be quite impressive. Um, when I say that, there's more impressive stuff. I should also warm up my fingers to get ready to type a lot. Typing monkey type, monkey type. messed up. Okay. Whoops. Saving. No. View this, leave more, same, those at man during, change now, new, iPod, look, plan, old turn, consider, one, follow the one, I messed, no, that's irritated me, okay. Yes, I have sounds on. Do I? Yeah. Oh. Okay. I should be good for an hour, and after an hour, I will probably cave. What did it do? I'll just keep it and... Oh, it's still going. Okay, we'll keep it afterwards. Another thing I do really want to do, actually, is, if I head to OneDrive, um, or... If it's in here, I will just... Personal statement, blah, blah, blah. Nah, okay. Never mind. We're going to use local send, because it's a goated application. Un momento. If I go to local send and send a specific zip file, some chunky zip file, where is it? It's not here. Where's the file? I literally had this 2 seconds ago. It was sat in my downloads or in the home folder. It's a massive... It's not here anymore. It's... Oh, it was in my downloads. Oh. Okay. And now it won't let me share the file. Okay. That's cool. Sorry if it looks like I'm doing nothing. I'm doing something. I'm just... It's not working as intended, which is... It's always great. There we go. There we go. Okay. That's going to take a while. What, like 5 minutes and 10 seconds? For 2.3 gigs? Let's run the numbers. Divided by... laptop is gigabit, so that would only be... I just realized I did plus. The laptop is gigabit, so it would be really, really quick. But sadly, I was gigabit. Wait, no, so that would be like... Yeah, okay. It would still be really, really quick. I don't know why I choked on that. It would still be really, really quick, but my tablet is cheap. So it's going to be like way under gigabit, like way. Like it's going to be... I feel like max transfer speed is going to be 30 megabytes per second, which is way. Sometime. Okay, that's not too long though. That's okay. But basically all this is it's these plus I spell Cambridge the Tripos. There we go. Tripos stuff. There we go. Not their Tripos plus, they're just past examinations, and then Oxford lecture notes. Not these, because I don't have access to those. Moodle. Yeah. So these are all publicly available, which is really nice of them, because I do not have the money to be financing someone to grab these for me. But basically, you get all of the stuff that you would want. Oh, it's a Tripos. They call it the Tripos? Oh, fair. But I thought only the... Never mind. You get all of this stuff for free online, which is really useful. Highly recommend. Like this. Just nice, cool questions like this. Um, this actually seems kind of scary. What is this? Um, oh, okay. Cool. Probability, fix the matrices again, differential equations again. The heat equation. What 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 am I doing in first year? Hey, wait. What's my first year? That'd be methods probably. What's the most? Okay, they say differential equation a lot. Hmm. Hmm. I've got a strap. Uh, that took really. That took so long to type. Okay. Whilst that does its thing, I will do nothing and just wait in silence, and we shall see what it says. And it has spoken, and it says, no. Uh, that's a good question, which I'm glad I asked. Somewhat. Nice. Um, risk. Yeah. Okay. High risk, high reward strategy because X and Ox are different in the notes. Yeah. Okay. That's what I expected. Sick. Um, I would still recommend using these lecture notes though. They're really good. Um, like the analysis ones, for instance. Um, they look kind of scary actually when you first see them as like an A level student. Wow, A level student. Um, because of course you're looking at this like as an A level student. Um, but then as an undergrad student, it's really nicely formatted, which is why I've noticed about a lot of lecture notes actually. Like if I hop back into what happened? Oh, I closed the tab. Oh, it was at the end as well. Okay, that's great. Um, I don't have Dolphin open. It's gonna open on the wrong tab. Sick. Thank you. Downloads. Oh, I didn't even. Oh, it was done. Like it was basically done as well, and then I was being a muppet and moved it. And I have to wait another 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah. With the notes, I could probably actually find some of mine on here. I can't reveal much about them because I paid for them with my money for this uni. So, haha. Um, but yeah, with lecture notes, um, unis have a really nice way of formatting them, and I love the fact that each lecturer does it very differently. Like these are my differential equation, whoa, differentiation notes, which is a part of the mathematical methods notes just for term one. They have a really nice way of formatting. If I then move on to structures, which is in a separate tile, which is here, um, which also has notes for term two, which I haven't seen yet, which would be interesting. If I go into something like functions, obviously it's still LaTeX, so it's going to look similar enough. But the way they've decided to go about describing things is slightly different somehow, and it's enjoyable to see the difference, which sounds like the most neaky thing I've ever said, but it's true. It's very true. A math student. Okay, what did you expect? Term two. What are we doing? Oh, actually, that's not bad. Well, this. Okay. Uh, oh, it's just brief. A. A. Okay. A. Just see. Okay. 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 That's not bad. Never mind. Never mind. We're back. Okay. 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 We move. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. We're gonna study that early, and then vector spaces. Obviously, it's just we love vector spaces, don't we? Vector spaces aren't bad. Okay. That's fine. That is fine. I'll study that in a bit. Um, bear in mind, as we're recording this, it's currently term one or the end of term one. Um, so we're just gonna get everything in order. What I'll probably do is once those files finish transferring, of which I forgot to mention, I'll literally just I used do I still have the extension downloaded? Um, I would think I do. Yeah, I use download them all, which is a handy extension for downloading a lot of files from a web page that you would normally have to click individually and they'd be like save and blah blah blah. You'd be like beep beep beep. Yeah. Instead, I use download them all. So now I have all of these lecture notes. The idea is to combine all of those notes at some point into one massive note. Um, in particularly these ones, or in particular, these are very. She probably has. She has a text file. I was gonna say she probably has, um, a better way to go about this. Um, I also kind of want to compare the way she compiled it to the official Cambridge notes. Doesn't she have a? Yeah. I also just realized I've been saying she. I'd have no idea if it's a she or he. Um, absolutely no idea. Um, but we never know. Okay, they. There we go. They. Their name's Dexter. Well, they've they compiled all of their notes into a really nice little website here, which is very handy. They also have some other stuff on here, which is very handy as well. I would recommend contacting and or looking into their notes. Very nice. My goal is not to do their notes because I can't do that. Okay, so like if you look at their, I need something really simple. Um, analysis one. Back to analysis one. If you look at their notes on differentiation, here are their notes. It's almost done. Okay. Here are their notes. I haven't even done differentiation yet. Okay. Never mind. I need something I've done. What have I done? Functions and introduction to... Okay. There's nothing on functions because that's... There is nothing on functions. And I don't think there will be anything on functions unless it's in here. Set function... that's a different kind. That's more like structures. Groups, differential equations, vectors, matrices, vector cut. Okay, if you look at the official notes for differentiation, you'll see they look like this, which is like it's more like a book, like a storybook, if anything. And then you look at their notes for differentiation within analysis. Where's analysis? There's analysis. Looks more like notes. It looks a lot more like notes rather than just lecture notes. It looks like notes, which is closer to mine actually, which I'm relatively proud of. but at the same time, uh, I'm not at the level where I can like doing this in LaTeX. It's probably not too difficult. I just wouldn't think of like look at this. It's pretty LaTeX. I've never. That was probably not the best thing to search up. PDF. There we go. That sounds worse somehow. Whoa. It reminds me of like one of these things where it's just. I know it's technically not the same, but it looks so nice. Um. Anyways, uh, right. So we need to get start on doing something. Did this actually? Oh, it did something. Okay, we will see what it did. In elementary number theory, where is it? Not bad. Not bad. Okay, fair. That's not bad. Hey, okay. I dig it. We're gonna have to delete it all. In fact, let me first check that I didn't accidentally make some stuff in. Oh, it did. Did it? Actually, I can't tell. I can't tell if these are mine or not. Theorem divisibility properties, prime numbers. Do I have one for prime numbers? It did. Oh, that's kind of annoying. It's not. It's not bad. Oh no. Oh, okay. It's not bad, but it feels wrong. Like it feels really wrong to keep these. Um, Once again, then what I would prefer to use AI for here is for for scanning through and making sure that there aren't any inconsistencies or any conflicts. So in this case, I'm just going to get to remove all of those files and this. But instead, what I want it to do is go through the definitions themselves and change or add to whatever it needs. Which I will do when I finish writing the term one lecture notes or the year lecture notes, actually. That's probably a good idea too. Of which I don't have because they've only released term one. However, what I can do is upload it and guess what the new lecture notes would be. But I doubt that I'll be able to find that anywhere since it's only term one and I don't have term two. If I did have term two, I would be very, very happy. Please send me term two lecture notes. Has it managed to? Yeah, it's still doing it. Okay, then I'll deal with that in a bit. Yeah, we can probably get started with something. I'll start with the daily integral, which if you don't know what that is, you should probably know what that is. Where are we going to do this in? We could probably do in OBS actually. No, in Obsidian somewhere. There's not really much point to be honest. What even is today's daily integral? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let me bust out a graphics tablet because my actual tablet is not going to show up on the screen because that's how tablets work. I need this cable and this massive tablet and this pen. Nice. Okay. We can use, what do I have on here? I have Inkscape. I also have Linwood Butterfly. Yeah, that works. Okay. Crumbs on my graphics tablet. Nah. Nice. Okay. F11 doesn't work. That's slightly unfortunate. We'll use light because why not? And it also finished transferring the notes, so I'll probably not need gigabit speeds because why would I? Um, or alternatively, I could have gigabit speeds by just changing the adapter from the USB A mode to USB C. Sick. Tecnologia. Tecnologia. Um, I can't plug this in. Never mind. Did it? Pause. Um, what was the integral? Did the pen died? The pen died. Okay. It's been so long that the pen died. So now I have to charge the pen as well, which I wasn't expecting to have to do, to be honest. And I forgot the charger. Where is my charger for this pen? Where is the charger for this pen? Where did if I left my charger at home, I'm gonna be so salty. I think I actually... No. No. I think I left the charger at home. Okay, sick. We're not using this anymore. We're just gonna find a way. What application do I have that could make this work? I have Wayless, which I don't really want to use at the moment, to be honest, because it's not responsive. I also have what else? There's Wayless and there's another one that I've used before. I'm gonna have to check the name of it. If you're wondering what I'm thinking of right now, which you probably aren't, you're probably just confused why there's a bunch of random background noise. I need to find a way to use my tablet to write on my laptop. Virtual Android pen, there we go. Seeing this doesn't even matter because no one's gonna dox me through that somehow, and if they did, honestly, bravo, that's actually kind of impressive. I also need to connect with the USB cable, which means I lose one cable and another cable. Please pull up. I don't need this anymore, don't need these. This one's okay. Refresh, nice. Connect. We check if it worked. It did work. This is going to be the most uncomfy experience I've ever ever had with trying to write. Nice. From 0 to 1, 1 over square root of 1 plus inverse of x. Okay. The integral from 0 to 1 of 1 over the square root of 1 plus this arc sine x minus x squared arc sine. X squared arc sine x. I think the first thing is just to write that actually, which I am struggling to do because it does not show my cursor the entire time, which is really confusing. Wow, this is gonna look ugly. 0 to 1. One plus x. Okay. This is really difficult. I don't know how to describe what I'm having to deal with right now. It's just incredibly difficult. And the graphics tablet is dead. Like I just didn't charge it for some reason, so I can't use that. And the charger is at home, so that's even better. That's great. Okay. Maybe it's not at home. Maybe. I don't think there's anything in the suitcase, so it's not in there. Yeah, it's probably at home. Never mind. Um, well, wireless is the only option. Um, not wireless. Android pen tablet. What we can do... It's not even running anymore. Why did it stop running? It just suddenly stopped. Okay, that's cool. I'll change the minimum pressure by quite a bit. So that way I can still put it on the... No, never mind. Never mind. Okay. We're just gonna increase that a lot. Okay, we're just gonna max it out. And it changed nothing. It's changed nothing. That's great. You know what, this works. Okay, integral 0 to 1 of 1 over, this feels horrible, square root of 1 plus x. Was it x squared? I have no idea. 1 it wasn't even x. It was arcsine, which I have no idea I'm going to write on this. Arcsine x plus x minus, okay, even better. Minus x. X or x squared minus x squared plus x squared. Was it even plus? It was minus. Okay, great. You know what? New idea. What if I just didn't do that? What if I just used LaTeX, like how I've been doing for the past year, to do stuff? Give me a random Obsidian node, okay? So the integral from 0 to 1 of 1 over 1 plus I could probably just copy this actually. Why do I have this? What's the oh, it's the fraction bracket. Yeah, no, I'm not using you anymore. Please close. I did a yeah, this is what we're dealing with. What would I do first? Genuinely, what would I do first? That looks factorable, maybe? And then you get 1 plus something squared, which would be a u subcase, which would then give you the arcsine thing, which is probably what they're going for actually. If it doesn't... Okay, my guess is that we're gonna have to do u equals 1 plus that somewhere as a substitution. And my substitution guess might be wrong, which is why I'm being careful at the moment to just do some quick maths. So it's 1 plus arcsine minus x squared minus x squared arcsine x. From there you can factor out the x squared part. So you'd get 1 plus arcsine x, and it's negative, so it's 1 plus, in brackets, sine to minus 1 x minus x squared 1 plus arcsine x. I know I could be saying inverse of sine, but that's long. Um, okay, so what I came up with, um, what's the best way to write this? Um, whoops. Um, I could just actually, from 0 to 1 of the same fraction, this time better. 1 plus that minus, does getting rid of this make it better? It looks just as bad. Okay. X to the power of 2, 1 plus that. What do I do with that? I don't know. It just really looks like the arcsine case, which if you didn't know, which you should know if you're watching this, which would be if it was 1 over square root of 1, which I could be entirely wrong. I'm pretty sure that is it though. Like yeah, okay. Yeah. As for what to do, if I do a U sub, if I do a U sub, what would happen? I would have to somehow bring out one of the things. So I could bring the U to the top somehow by dividing top and bottom by U. Then I would have to deal with another issue, which would cancel itself out, hopefully. So if I do a U sub, U equals... In fact, is there a way to just... Oh yeah, I have alien technology, otherwise known as Android. I have Auralink or whatever it's called. I could just be using that. I didn't think that through. That's the phone. Let me click cancel quickly. I could just share my screen. Why did I not do that? General settings, developer options, wireless debugging. Nice. Allow network. Sure. It won't let me scan the QR code though, which is really weird. Oh, it does. Okay, I'm just blind. Pair QR code. Please work. Nice. Okay. I don't know why I didn't think this through the first time, considering how much effort it would have saved. If I, yeah, there we go. Okay. Wow, that's lag. Okay. There we go. Okay. Here you have minimal planning, and I can start all over again. So we have the integral 0 to 1, 1 over the square root. That's not enough space. 1 plus x. Yeah, that's not enough space. Square root. There we go. 1 plus sine minus 1 of x minus x squared minus x squared arcsine. That's criminal. That's also criminal, but we'll keep it. This, if it lets me move, is equal to same integral 1 plus arcsine x minus x squared dx. Then the goal is to just say u equals 1 plus sine to minus 1x. Then du would be equal to dx over square root 1 minus x squared with some repercussions, because I don't know how this is going to go. 0, arc sine of 0 to 0. Um, so it'll just be 1. And then we would have arc sine of 1 is just pi over 2, which feels like weird limits, to be honest. I might also just be wrong, but we shall see. 1 to pi over 2. Okay, interesting. Can I make this look nicer? I can. It looks the same. Okay. 1 to pi over 2. Square root of 1 minus x squared u, or u minus x squared u. You factor out the u, get root u. X squared is the problem. U minus 1 arctan. Oh, no, wait, no. Root u. Which cancels because your du is going to be square root of 1 minus x squared. That, which cancels, which I can eloquently just blah blah blah, which is equal to the integral from 1 to pi of 1 over root u du. I'm going to choke here because it's minus 1 over 2. 1 over 2, you're expecting just 2. Because if you differentiate it right, it would, I could be very wrong. I could be choking heavily. You bring the 1 over 2 down, flip it, yeah, okay. From 1 to pi, which is just 2 root pi minus 2. Which I'm going to check on a calculator because I'm not guessing that. 2 root pi minus 2 is around 1.54. Please be correct, please. Flip. Okay. We're gonna start that again. We're gonna see where I went wrong from the very beginning because I've done something wrong. I don't need to. Why did I erase the integral? Like the original. Okay. I've done something stupid. That's the integral. That's equal to the integral from 0 to 1 of 1 over square root 1 plus arc sine x minus x squared 1 plus arc sine x dx. You let u equal 1 plus sine x, or arc sine x, du is equal to 1 over square root 1 minus x squared. So then I of u, I'm going to leave the limits as a and b, would be u minus x squared, yeah, it would be u minus x squared u, I think, I hope, 1 over, in fact, let me put the u at the front, times square root of, I forgot the dx, squared dx, no, du. That would cancel, remaining the 1 over root u. Wow, I can't get rid of that. Okay. A to b. Yeah, 1 over root u. 1 over root u. There we go. Which I choked on. So I'm just going to do this the slow way. Du. What is it equal to? Is it not just 2u? 2 root u, sorry. If you differentiate root, you get what, 1 over 2 times 1 over root u. So it should be half, but it's not. So it's 2 times originally. I feel like I'm bugging heavily. Um, I'm just gonna do it like this. 1 arctan arcsine. Arcsine of 1 is just pi over 2, so it's 1 over 1 plus pi over 2. One minus 0, that'll just be 1 plus 0. Okay. So why is my answer so different now? Okay, maybe I did do something wrong. Maybe, I don't know. 2 root 1 plus pi over 2 minus 2, which is approximately 1.21 if you round. I don't know if it wants the rounded answer or not. It froze. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm not showing that. Second question, which is, what time is it? We shall see. I have no idea. Anyways, that's the second question. Right. I didn't see it. I missed. Okay. There we go. We'll let I equal integral from 0 to infinity of arctan that the themes seems to be focused on a lot of inverse functions here. This one specifically, I have no idea how we're going to do it. So we're just going to guess. Can this go away, please? Thank you. I have no idea how we're going to do this one. No idea. We could just start off with, actually, if we wrote this as, this could either be genius or stupid. If we do 1 over 1 plus x squared times arctan of x over 1 plus x squared, we could then do by parts. So we would integrate this, integrate this, differentiate this. I don't think that would help, but we can see what happens. So that would be, this is just a logarithm case. Is it though? No, wait, no. No, it's not. If you differentiate that, you get that. Am I being a muppet? I feel like I'm being a muppet. Let me just test something in green. Why not? No, actually green's the wrong color. D by dx of ln of arctan x is equal to the differentiated version, which would be 1 over 1 plus x squared over arctan, which is different from what we have. So doing by parts actually doesn't do anything here, which is great. Or like maybe it does, but I'm blind. I don't know. Anyways, it's not ln that, so that's good to know, I guess. Okay. Experimentation time. I'll also delete this above part because that's a genius idea, but I just can't put it into perspective in the moment. Let u equal arctan x, which sucks because if I could do it correctly, I would want to replace that, but I can't Um, du equals 1 over 1 plus x squared dx. You can see what I mean. I can only replace one of them, and I'm left with another one. So I in terms of u is equal to some integral from a to b. I haven't checked for how improper of an improper integral this is. That made no sense. We're just going to flow with it. 1 plus x squared. Du is equal to that, so we can skip over some steps, and you got u on the top. Now we just have to get rid of the x squared, which is problematic. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. That was not problematic at all. Okay. No, yep. Wait. That would be u cos squared u du. Do I remember how to integrate this? I think it's by parts. Integrate that, differentiate that. So that's going to be 1/3 flip. Intermediate step. U over 2 plus 2u. I should have used different brackets. This is also very messy. Du. So that would be that. Both are multiplied by u. So one of them is easy to integrate, the other one's a bit more annoying. I'm just going to do this immediately. This would be 1 over 4 u squared plus, integrate that, 1 over 4 u could be wrong, could be right, I have no idea. From a to b minus the integral a to b. Did I remember to half that? No, I didn't. That should be an eighth. There would be a half in front of there, but actually let me leave the half. That's still sine, that will just disappear. Sine 2u du 1 over 4 u squared plus 1 over 8 u sine 2u minus would become a plus 4 cos 2u, because it would have been a minus. From a to b, I forgot what a and b were. What was our substitution even? Yes, I have a cold, so my nose is slightly nasally. If you plug in 0 here, you get 0, and if you go to infinity, you get pi over 2. So it's just 0 to pi over 2. Okay, sick. 0, 0, 1, pi over 2, blah, blah, blah. That would just be pi, which is 0. That would be pi, which is negative 1. Okay, so we've got 1 over 4, no, pi squared over 16. Please tell me I'm not wrong, please. Okay. Plus, that's 0. Let me just write anyways. Plus 0 minus 1 over 4. Then we have plus minus 0. Whoa. Minus 0. Minus 0 again. That would just be plus 1 over 4. So these would cancel. And you're left with pi squared over 16, I suppose, which is approximately what? 3.14 over, okay. This could also be very wrong. Wrong. 0.61, that's not rounded. 62, they're both wrong. Great, okay. We're just gonna we're gonna go back to the drawing board again, like with the other question. I genuinely don't know what I did wrong. I feel like I just made a really stupid mistake somewhere. I made so much Let's start from the very beginning. Oh, that's a different question. I was wondering why there was so much stuff. Okay. This is the question. There we go. I didn't write anything wrong. No. Okay. Let u equal arctan x. Du would be equal to 1 over 1 plus x squared dx. From here, actually, we would say tan of u equals x. And then it would be squared of u equals x squared. Okay, so then I of u, I'm just using I of u to label the substituted form. The new limits, 0 would give you 0, infinity would give you pi over 2. Um, 0 to pi over 2, that'd be u over tan square. I'm pretty sure this is what it should be. This would become, this becomes u. That's our sub. One of them is this. And then the other one should cancel by some, or it doesn't cancel, we just replace it with 1 plus tan squared u. Which is great, but that's great. And the other one just becomes the dx for whatever. This is sec squared u 1 over, which is just cos squared u. So that's 0 to pi over 2 of u squared u. That's a really big bracket. Du. And then from here, then what? Then cos squared u is equal to 1 over 2, 1 plus cos 2u. So now you've got u over some stuff. So now your integral is, that's a massive integral sign. 0 to pi over 2. U over 2 plus u over 2 cos 2, yeah. Well, 1 over 2 is going on the outside. In fact, I'm just moving the 2 here so that I don't screw up. U plus u cos 2u. Way better integral. Part of it is going to just be 1/2 u squared from 0 to pi over 2. Then we got the by parts. This. Integrate the cos 2u, differentiate the u. So that would be u over 2 sine 2u, because you're differentiating stuff, minus, which would become a plus because of the no, it wouldn't become a plus. Where did I had made a silly mistake before. That's where I made the silly mistake. No, it's not. Okay, it's not. I'm bugging. Okay, pi over 2 sine 2u du. That's 1 over 2 u squared plus 1 over, what, 1 over 2 again? Yeah, 1 over 2. Did I make a mistake where I just multiplied by half twice for some reason? Because it's looking like I multiplied by half twice in the wrong place, which is really infuriating. That part. Yeah, that's fine. 1 over 2 u sine 2u. And then this, when integrated, gives you a negative, which would become a positive. So the whole thing is positive. By positive, I mean like that there's no negative sign anywhere. Obviously, it's not always positive. Or at least we don't know. It's from 0 to pi over 2. This is different. Pi over 2 here, you would end up with the same pi squared over 16. Sick. Pi over 2 in this, you just get pi, which is 0. Pi over 2 in this, pi negative, 0 becomes 0, 0 becomes 0, 0 becomes positive, so you would end up with the same thing, unless I'm bugging. Oh, that's not right. No, it is. It's pi over 2, so that'll be 8 divided by 2. So it's still pi squared of... What? What did I do wrong? Okay. What did I do wrong? I'm so confused. Because I kept... What did I type in? 0.62. I'll get a hint, but I'm slightly annoyed. Apply integration by parts to reduce the standard trigonometry and then evaluate using double angle. That's what I did. I just did I did a U sub and then... What's wrong with my U sub then? What did I do wrong? I can do it again, but like that's... Okay. By parts. What do they recommend? Apply integration by parts with U. They use the substitution. Yeah, they do x equals tan U. Or they use y or whatever. But okay, I'll come back to this one because I'm a bit confused. This looks weird. Okay, that's... I'll just write it first. 0 to pi over 4. And then we have arctan of some crazy looking thing. 1 minus tan squared theta over 2 d theta. Okay, nice. What am I going to do here? What am I going to do? So x squared over 2, there's still the square root. Integration of arctan. I forgot the formula for integrating inverse of functions. Okay. Uh, yeah, sure. Wait, what are the limits pi over 4? Um, what is... And that is just equal to... Tan pi over 4 is just 1, right? So it's just 1 minus theta. 1 plus tan theta. Interesting. Um, I just need that to give me a useful result, and I hope it does. Um, what does that do for me? Um, what does that do? It does something. I just have no idea what it does. 1 minus tan squared. No, no, wait. I would need 1 plus tan squared, which is... I would be rationalizing the top. So 1 plus 1 minus. So you get 1 minus tan squared theta over sec squared theta, which is just squared theta minus um, cos squared tan squared, which is sine. This isn't hyperbolic. I wish this was hyperbolic, because then I could just do theta minus sine. That's how. I could have just done that, but we're working with normal stuffs. Um, yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay. At least I don't. That wouldn't do anything useful. I don't think. Um, it just gives you. Um, now if the one was in there, that would be great, but there is. So oh, it isn't though. 1 minus 1 over... Oh, sick. Okay, I figured it out. We're going to start writing this direction for some reason. So we're going to let... Um, we're going to transform the integral. So theta is going to have a phase shift to pi over 4 minus theta. If you're wondering why this works, consider like the integral j. I don't like... We'll just use I of x or something, I don't know. A to b of some function g of x. Whoa, d of x, and you let x equal a plus b minus u. So you've added the limits and subtracted a new variable. Then you would have some new integral I of u, which is, and you can check this by the way, when x is 0, or when x is a, b would be b, and well, when x is a, u would be b, and then when x is b, u would be a. So it flips this, and you would have f of a plus b minus x, or minus u rather, and then your du would just be negative. And when you have negative that, you can just flip it back. Whoops. U du, and because the integral is basically the same, it's the same form. It's just, you can literally just from here basically say a plus b minus x dx. So you form this identity, which is very useful, often called the King's property or whatever it is. I used it for step, or at least like when practicing for step. It's very cool. So in this case, we know that the integral is literally just, what, from 0 to pi over 4? Um, arctan of square root of 1 minus tan pi over 4 minus theta over 2 d theta, which we've discovered is equal to 0 to pi over 4 arctan square root of, what was it? We're going for the sine case, yeah. 1 minus 2 sine squared theta over 2 d theta. So the 1's are going to cancel, and then the 2 is also going to cancel. So we're going to be left with arctan of sine theta d theta. What is that? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. New problem has arisen. So we have the integral pi over 4 arctan sine theta d theta. How do we integrate this? We have options. We could do a u sub, so we could let tan of u equal sine of theta. Then sec squared u would be equal to cos of theta d theta. And then I of u, once again, I'm not too bothered with limits. You plug in 0, both would be 0. You plug in pi over 4, you get root 2 over 2. Yeah, let's just leave it as a over b, okay, or a and b. So that's going to be arctan of tan u multiplied by squared u over cos theta du. So that would cancel. These would cancel. Wow. There we go. And you're left with u from a to b of u sec squared u over cos theta. So now we have a new problem. We need to find a way to get that theta. We need cos theta. We square both sides. Tan squared u is this feels wrong to write for some reason. Which is just sec squared square root. Oh, sick. No, not sick. Sick or not sick? I'm not sure. Tan squared u is sine squared theta, which is 1 minus cos squared theta. So then we're left with cos theta is equal to square root of 1 minus tan squared u, which is equal to sec. I feel like that just makes sense, but I don't know why I didn't really think of that. So this would be a really annoying integral from a to b of u sec u. Okay, what are we going to do about this? Du. Integrate the sec u, differentiate the u. How do you integrate sec again? Let me just guess. It's going to be a wild guess if I still remember this. D by dx of ln x plus sec x. Whoa. Denominator would be the same. Top would be sec squared. Oh, it is. Okay, sick. By parts again. So I say again, like we're only doing it once. This would be a logarithm. Ooh. Oh no. Yeah, oh no, this not good. From a to b minus the same integral from a to b with a logarithm. See, we seem to have found an issue. I don't know how to integrate that logarithm. Um, hmm. E to the ln u, ln of e to the sum. No, I can't do that. This has to be something. If I had limits, I could probably manipulate it somehow, but I didn't get limits because I was being a muppet. What would I do with this? What could I do with this? Rather, what would I and what could I do with this? See, this is simple. This this is not so simple. I have no idea how I'm going to integrate that. Second u sub, or maybe there's a better way to do by parts or something. If it was just sec u, that would be fine. So the goal is to not have. If I differentiate, that makes it worse. And then if I do by parts on a different thing, that still makes it worse. I don't get another logarithm, which would make it even worse. Hmm. What I wanted was to have something like integral of sec u du, which is easy. Unless I don't recommend. That just looks like a u. Tan u sec u. Which is just t squared over 1 plus t squared. Which is normally what you would use for a substitution, which kind of ruins everything. Because I've got art sec. I didn't even realize. I can't even do that. Can I not do that actually? Then I'm left with this. Which I should probably write as sec u d u. Okay, let me keep it as. That's just the same thing. Sick. Okay. This would cancel with that. Well, not cancel, but I wouldn't have to change it. The tan u is the problem. Squared plus 1. Square rooted inverse. Okay. Okay. We can try it. Um, drawing another line. Okay. Just a mini break. Just to test it. Let t equal sec u, then dt. Does that cover the whole thing? Yeah. dt equals tan u sec u du. So the integral would become, I'm not even going to bother with the limits anymore. There are too many changes. It would be u t I u t then the du, which is there, would, I'm missing something. U sine theta would become u, what am I missing? What am I missing? U, we already have this, which is just t, which we don't need to consider. This is t. 1 over t. The t's will cancel, so you're left with u, which we haven't subbed in for, tan u. U over tan u, so you'll be left with u cot u. I feel like I'm too tired for this. dt. Tan ut or t tan u. I can't be bothered. T equals sec u. From here, t squared plus 1 is equal to, no, t squared minus 1 square rooted is equal to tan u. And we have cot u. So this is really close to transforming into something better. And then we have arc sec. So which is probably better written as sec to the minus 1 of u over square root 1 minus t squared dt. What do I do with this? Differentiate inverse of sec, which I have no idea what that gives you. Let me not even bother. I know what it gives you, but I don't want to make a mistake. Inverse sec. It's like a 2-term something. Yeah, that thing. Square of x squared minus 1. So you put a negative inside the bracket. There's an imaginary component I do not like. And you'd have an extra term, wouldn't you? You would have, flip indeed. Okay. If there was a negative 1 inside of the bracket somehow, and we somehow, but then you'd have some weird contour integral stuff, which I wasn't preparing, and that's wrong. Okay. We're going to use a hint. Family of integrals. Differentiate under the integral. Of course. Of course. Of course it's that. Of course. Of course. How far did I get without doing that? Okay, I got to here, which was like, that's actually pretty good. And then I got that down to, was that still theta? That was still theta, okay. So still with theta, then I used the u sub, got it down to this. The problem is the sec u, which normally wouldn't be a problem, but there's a u attached to it, which makes everything so much worse. And I can't tangent and sine substitutions integrate with respect to the parameter using arctan. Define a parameterized family of integrals with parameter alpha method after an extensive simplification of tangent and sine substitutions. Integrate with respect to a parameter using arctangent formulas and then evaluate a specific parameter. Okay. Let me try that. I guess. Don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't even know what the parameter is going to be. What would the parameter be? I of u is equal to some integral from a to b of u sec u du. What would I of alpha be? What alpha would we have? E to the something? It could be that, to be honest. It could be u cos. This is such a stupid way to do that. Then if you differentiate that, there's a really stupid way to do it. That's not the right parameter. I can't guess the parameter for this. Like where the parameter would be. Unless they want. But that feels wrong. Would I even do anything? Tan u sec squared u. No. I doubt that does anything. U sec. It wouldn't be sec anymore. Tan alpha u sec alpha u from a to b, wherever a and b is, du. I doubt that does anything though. I can check by just checking what the parameter would give if you just check the numbers. Okay, where did I do my substitution? Is that the substitution? That's the substitution. Okay. So we have, whoa, tan u equals sine theta from 0 to pi over 4. So tan u equals sine theta 0 to pi over 4. At 0 they're both 0. Sine pi, okay. So then we get u equals arctan 1 over root 2, which is not a nice number, I don't think. 1 over root 2. Yeah, that's terrible. Okay. Let me just go for it anyways. This could still be wrong entirely. I could also just be doing the method wrong. It's been a while since I've done this. How do we do this again? The random, I'll just call this B, to be honest. This would go to a number. If you put 0 in there, you still get 0, right? So you would just get, let me just put B. B tan That does nothing. You have, okay, yeah, my parameter was useless. Okay, I am fumbled. No idea how you do that. None. Nil. No idea. I'm gonna leave it there with that one. I'm kind of salty. I do actually want to see what the answer is though, but I can't. Um, Let me not even use. Let me just. I'm not leaking the answer to anyone, so it's okay. Um, I don't actually want the answer. I just want to see how it goes about solving it, which it will do. Um, I literally just want to see it use the approach. I just want to see it use the approach. That's all I want to see. Please just work through the approach. Okay. Defines what? Times squared. What? I'm blind. Legally blind. Sure. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't getting that one correct. Okay, that's cool. Did I get the medium one? No, I didn't. I made a silly mistake there. What are the limits? F of x equals that. Given that g of t and g prime of that, find f prime of that. Okay, sure. I should have read that question more carefully because I have no idea what they're asking. Is that f prime or f of x? Yeah, that's f of x. So f of x. Cool. F of x is equal to what? 6e to the x over g of x minus sine of x. What do they want me to do? G of 2 equals 0, or no, g of 2 equals 2, and same input, g prime of equals 0, no, equals minus 6. Where did I see 0? Where was 0? Okay, you have 2 and minus 6. Where was there was no 0. Okay. Find f prime of 2. So they want me to differentiate both implicitly, then just that's it. Okay, sure. So you just have f of x, g of x, minus f of x, sine of x. I should leave that as one thing. Why am I making my life harder? Six e to the x. So then if I differentiate both sides, which I'm not going to write out mathematically, I'm just going to do it. You'd have f prime of x times that expression, which is the part that we need. And then the other part is the other part, which they baited us with, which they actually didn't. F of x is just 6e to the x over g of x minus sine of x. And that's going to be multiplied with, that bracket is too close. Differentiation of this, which is just g prime of x minus cos of x. There's no bracket needed. Which is just equal to 6e to the x, because differentiation. Then they want us to plug into, to get f prime of 2, So f prime of 2, g of 2 is just 2, right? So you get 2 minus sine of 2 plus, I would have to round that, which is, they've done that on purpose, okay? And 6e to the 2, yeah. 6e to the 2 over 2 minus sine of 2 times, I don't need thick people brackets anymore, so I can make this look nice actually. Minus 6 minus flip. Oh no, never mind. So f prime of 2 is just equal to that minus that over that, which is just negative positive over that divided by that, which it already is. See, I'm just gonna put that on a calculator because ain't nobody got time for that. Negative positive 2 minus sine of 2 on the bottom, and then on the top you can have 6e to this 2. This is just a lot of factorizing. What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay. Let me not be stupid. Okay. F prime of 2. That was really weird. 2 minus sine 2 is equal to 2 negatives make a positive there. So let me do this now actually. You get 6e squared. If I put everything over 6e squared, you would then get 6 plus cos of 2 plus 6e squared 2 minus sine of 2. I don't think I've done something stupid. If I have, it's really, really stupid. Oh, that. Okay. That was stupid thing number 1. That seems fine. I think. But I feel like I've done something stupid. I love the fact that the hardest part about calculus isn't actually figuring out how to get to the answer, it's just doing the arithmetic for me, which is kind of funny, but it's also kind of annoying. I could alternatively just put this all in a CAS or calculator and just get to do it for me, which is what I'll probably end up doing actually. Yeah, I might just do that. Okay, x times 2 minus sine of 2 minus some other stuff multiplied by some other stuff is equal to 6e to the power of 2. What was that? 6 plus cos of 2 and the other one was 6 over some stuff. 2 minus sine of 2, 6 e to the power of 2, and I'm missing a parentheses. And apparently the answer is false, which I have no idea what that means. Why is there a fault? Okay, you know what? Sure. Let me just put an answer. 13.97. Maybe not. You know what? I know what to do. Okay, I'll take it. This, I dig this. That looks like a normal question. If it's 0 positive, though, I'm gonna be slightly. Oh, it's not. Okay. I'm just making silly mistakes. Minus 1. At 0, you get 1 minus 1. That becomes 1 minus 1. L'Hopital. That's probably what they expect you to want to do. So my guess is that you don't use it. Also, for actual questions, obviously write everything out. I'm just doing it like this because there's no need. Differentiation of that would just be it's on the denominator, so this would be a 4. Oh, 6 2, I think. I hope. That would be the 2 here. Yeah. You bring down the power, differentiate inside. Yeah, okay. What's that equal to? That's not 0, which feels entirely wrong. That's just 4. There's no way the answer is just 4. The answer, wow, okay, the answer is actually 4. That's an incredible, that's a great limit. They did a lot with that one. Okay, we're gonna stop there for today. That's the start of the day, which is technically the end of the day, because I need to sleep for like 2 minutes. What time is it? 4:30. Sick. 4:30 in the morning. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that for today, and I'm gonna move on to other stuff tomorrow, and then the grind continues. Okay.